Alrighty, welcome back to our New York session live stream. Okay, here with WPAT. So, anyways, before we actually start off, we should actually jump into our disclaimer. Okay. Anyways, over here, WPAT is not a brokerage, nor is it a trading solution. Okay. Basically, what we're diving into is Forex and derivatives. Okay, now Forex is traded on margin. Okay, it may not be suitable for every investor as it is considered a high risk product. Okay, so now if you do want independent advice, it is highly recommended that you do seek it. Okay, because anything provided in this video is purely for entertainment and also educational purposes only. Okay, all right, so let's jump right in to what's going on real soon during the market open. Okay, so the New York session is actually going to be opened up very soon, in less than an hour's time. Okay, today let's take a quick look at what we will be expecting. Okay, basically news from consumer confidence data will be actually showcased in about 2 hours time. Okay, I think what is more important would be actually what's going to be happening tomorrow. Okay, so basically tomorrow, what you guys should actually be wary of during the Asian session, okay, is basically Australian. The CPI and inflation is actually going to be announced. Okay, and then also in Canada. Okay, tomorrow the Canadian interest rate decisions will also be stated. Okay, well, anyways, before we actually jump on into the market analysis for today, we should actually look into some of the detailed data that has happened today in the Asian session and also in the UK London session. As it's stated, after Prime Minister Sunak actually met with King Charles, basically it is official. Okay, he is now the Prime Minister of the UK. Hopefully he is here to actually make some amendments to any form of mistakes that any previous party leaders have actually done towards the UK. Anyways, him coming from a financial background could be a new fresh start, right? He used to be the finance minister. That's number one. And number two, his previous job was actually in finance as an analyst. So I guess he has a good hold of the market, right? All right. So latest news of what has happened today in the European market. Okay, Adidas, okay, German sportswear company, obviously has sacked Ye, or should we say Kanye West, okay, for some very interesting comments that he has been making throughout the past few days. Okay, and also very confidently stating that Adidas cannot sack him, if anything, for his comments. But anyways, what type of impact is this at all towards anyone in Forex, right? To be really honest with you, yeah, there is a major impact. Will it be a major impact towards any currencies? Not really, but in terms of GDP numbers, overall, at least we know that Adidas is hit hard with at least 250 million euros in terms of GDP loss, right? Okay, because of the high season that's actually going to come happening in the last quarter of the year, where a lot of purchasing power may start occurring. Okay, and they're basically cutting down on all products related to the Ye productions. Right. So anyways, could be a big hit because, I mean, look, in Europe or in Germany, basically the economic state is very just stable. It's not very volatile. It's not picking up its pace as quickly as what most countries would want to pick up. So obviously, having such a large contract ending like that, it could pose some impact. Okay? All right. Well, with that being said, let's actually move our target towards more North American companies, right? Tesla, right? Tesla has been very known in terms of having its globalization in terms of its products. So in China, obviously it's decreased its price, as we all know. The news happened, I believe, 2 days ago, where prices have dropped, okay, for China. And now a lot of people will read this as a negative connotation in terms of bad sales results, but in my eyes it may not be all that bad. Okay, well, think about inflation. Okay, I mean, dropping a product's price, it could actually see a few good things, right? Number one, in China, it does seem like the GDP has increased, okay, in comparison. Now, obviously, possibly what they're trying to push for is that the value of the currency will actually increase, okay? Having a drop in price, that could actually counteract the inflation that's happening globally. So, hey, it could be a positive sign. But like I said, none of this is actually financial advice, okay? I obviously am not a pure expert in the financial markets. I do not make the rules here, okay? So I'm just reading up a lot of news and reading a lot of charts and looking at a lot of people's sentiments. So anyways, looking at Tesla in China, one of the interesting thing is this: Tesla in China can actually deliver vehicles much faster than they used to do before. Okay, so possibly this could be a good turnout. Okay, maybe the sales will increase. Number one, lower prices, faster deliveries. People get more excited getting their new vehicle. Hey, you do the math. Okay, all right. Now, also for Tesla, there is some talks that Tesla's CEO Elon Musk has actually been in Mexico. And what is he doing there, right? Is actually trying to set up possibly a plant in Mexico. So that could actually vamp up some North American production, okay? And getting a lot more local production, as we do see. Yes, it's a slower quarter, right, for Tesla, but of course, a lot of people are going green. Now, talking about the word green, apparently now in Europe, or should I say in England, okay, you cannot actually go greenwashing things anymore, right? Because of a lot of investments, a lot of companies, it's all aiming at going green, green energy, green this, green that. It is actually a form of greenwashing where the regulators now is actually cracking down. Well, I guess every entity has its own take on controlling the economy and what is available in the market for everybody to consume. Okay, but anyways, the good thing is this: actually, we do see a lot of people are possibly giving up gas vehicles, so then they're turning into electric vehicles. So having local production happening, in North America or in the Americas could actually vamp up some sales. Okay. So hopefully this could actually combat basically what we're looking at the inflation rates. Okay. All right. So what has happened in Europe? For all of you crypto users out there, if you guys own a lot of crypto, it could be good news or it could be bad news. Basically, there are people in the parliament in Europe that are stating that there could be an over-regulated situation with stable coins. Okay, so possibly we're looking at maybe lightening the tone of how the governments are regulating basically crypto. Okay, and like we already spoke today before the London Open, is that the new Prime Minister of the UK seems to be pro-digital currency. Okay, pro-digital currency. Okay, because obviously in the UK they do have their own digital currency, and obviously this is its way of accessing the traditional finance into the so-called decentralized financial world, but within regulations, of course. Okay, so obviously this is actually good news, especially for people in Forex, right? This actually opens up to a lot more liquidity, okay, possibly, and because there's more faster transactions and whatnot, hey, who knows? Maybe the Forex market, from its traditional financial instruments to the decentralized financial instruments, now can collide and coexist, and a lot more trading volume. Okay? All right. So, let's actually get into the markets now. Okay? So obviously we are about to get into the market open in the US. As we've actually noticed, the oil prices have been dropping for the past 2 days. Okay, this could actually be due to two reasons. Okay, because of number one, China's import on oil has actually decreased. Okay, and second of all, basically the cap on the production. Okay, in the Middle East. Okay. But a lot of this, I believe, is actually due to the sentiment, right? Obviously, Saudi Arabia has made the announcement, I believe, a few weeks ago, stating the reason for the cap, right? They are also very basically supportive of Ukraine, providing relief and whatnot. So this could actually not be all that much political, okay? It could actually be more economical based in terms of what they're doing in terms of capping production, okay? So anyways, let's actually start looking at oil first. Okay, so obviously what we're going to be looking at is D1, okay, and then we're going to drop it down all the way to H1. What we're going to look at is basic market analysis that most people utilize, moving average, okay, RSI and stochastics. So looking at H1, we do see basically 2 consecutive weeks for this week. Oil prices have dropped. Okay, is the momentum big or strong for oil? No, not really. Okay, it seems like everyone's just treading carefully right now. Okay, because economically and politically, everything is, you know, just sort of treading along. They're just all treading along. So looking at the RSI, we're looking at it below 50. Okay, so indications that maybe bear momentum is prevailing. Okay, we're looking at the stochastics as causing a crossover as well. Okay, indication that maybe more momentum going south or bearish may occur. Okay, now looking at the moving averages, it is very prominent that obviously the oil prices are on a bearish trend. Okay, so overall, it seems like oil may be capped at a ranging market. Now, how do we confirm this? We go to H4. Okay, so on H4, what we're going to do now, we're going to be drawing basically our support resistances. Okay, now these are some prominent support resistance points. I should actually change up the colors, shouldn't I? This is a bit clashy. Okay, there we go. All right, so here is some prominent support resistance points for oil. Okay, now obviously what we're looking at is for the past 2 weeks, you know, oil has actually been trading within this range. Okay, so not a lot of momentum or not a lot of major trends is happening. So what should we actually be looking at? Obviously, indicators are a good sign, okay, in terms of which direction. It does seem like it's more bearish, okay, but it does seem a bit mixed. All right, so let's see if H1 we could actually see certain candlestick patterns forming. Okay, so you see pretty much confirmation of a bear movement in terms of the moving average, okay. Now, we do see there is actually some candle patterns that do show a morning star. So a potential upwards pull may occur, okay? An upwards pull may occur, but is the momentum strong? Not at all, as the stochastics do mention over here, okay? So if people are actually buying, if you are actually long on oil right now, I do see that there's a potential for a take profit point, okay? But will the trend reverse and become bullish? Not this soon, okay? So do make sure this is exactly acting as how the stocks are. Okay, oil is reflective of what the stock market is now, which is a lot of people longing on the bears. right? So short buying on the bear market. Okay, all right. So let's move on in. Everyone wants to take a look at is the Euro USD, of course. So on D1, let's quickly take a look. D1, let's take a look at RSI. RSI is above 50. Okay, stochastics is literally on the overbought zone. This indicates a potentially strong trend. Okay, now one of the key points that you guys have to keep in mind is on the D1, this price of 0.998. Okay, this is actually a very significant price point. Okay, if prices go above 0.998, okay, then you should be expecting that there could be a very strong bullish trend that will occur. Okay, all right. So this is actually a very important point in time, okay, to see if it will break its pattern. When I mean pattern, take a look at the candlestick patterns, and all of this is D1. Usual patterns form 3-time repeats, and then the market does change. So let's take a look. This is a 1 pattern over here, the 2nd pattern, and the 3rd pattern. So if the prices can now go above 0.998, then be confident that potentially the Euro USD will be trading at more bullish momentum. All right, so to confirm most of our actions, let's take a look at H4. Okay, so H4, we do see a very strong doji candle over here, which is literally formed morning star, indication of a bullish market. Okay, now the market is actually just sort of treading carefully there. Now all candlesticks are above the moving average. So for now, how we will be aiming at the markets is to potentially place a buy order. Now, anything we do over here, this is purely for entertainment purposes and also educational purposes only. Okay, I'm not here to providing any signals. Okay, WPAT does not provide any signal services, just to let you guys know. All right, so based on the candlesticks, okay, of what we're seeing over here, morning star, which maybe we did miss out already, okay, but obviously based on the moving averages and the RSI, okay, it could indicate that the market will be more bullish. Okay, so with that being said, we will enter into the market as a buy order right now. But traders out there, do tread carefully. Why? Because the stochastics right now is actually just formed a death cross, which indicates that there could be more sellers that will occur right now. Okay, so usually in the US markets, okay, during the New York session, there is more strength to push the US dollar. So the chances of it actually dropping a little bit, so the pullback is going to happen first before it actually goes up. Okay, so if you have that persistence to actually trade with more care, then you do want to wait until the market goes more bearish, wait for that pullback, then you enter with a purchase buy order. Okay, all right. Now on H1, let's quickly take a look. You see H1, RSI is below 50. So you see the pullback is occurring right now. So for the New York session, what we will be looking at is a potential bearish move first, then it will actually then slowly pull back up, okay, towards the bull side of things. All right, so Euro USD is done. Let's take a look at USD CAD. All right, so tomorrow, a very prominent pair for you guys to take a look at, because tomorrow the Canadians, basically the inflation rates or interest rates, sorry, will actually be announced tomorrow on the economic calendar. So we should actually take a look at the USD CAD more carefully. So on D1, do we actually see any strong indications on RSI? It is obviously above 50, okay, but it is going downwards right now, right, along with how the candlesticks are working, okay. Is the trend very strong? Is this bearish trend very strong right now? No, right, based on the stochastics, it is not a very strong trend as of yet. All right, and then if we're looking at the moving averages solely by itself, obviously it's very bullish, okay? But now, yes, the market is testing our MA line right now, okay? So then now obviously we have candlesticks that have now surpassed and they are below our short moving average or short-term moving average line. Okay, so if this price does reach our mid-moving average, then there is that high chance of basically a change in direction in the market. Okay, but overall right now, what are our expectations? What I've noticed on the D1, look carefully here. Okay, this is what we're always looking for, potential divergences. So what do we see here? Okay, now we always have two indicators to actually help us out. Okay, we have a higher highs, okay, and then lower highs on the indicators. This is actually divergence. Okay, with this type of divergence, it basically indicates a bearish market. Okay, so you see the chances of it becoming more bear is there. Wow, I just found out that it rhymed. All right. So just to confirm the overall strength as of what the market is right now, let's drop it down to H4. Let's quickly take a look. Based on H4, there's not much momentum. This is a very mixed market right now. Okay, RSI reaching almost 50, but it is actually below 50 right now. Okay, our short-term moving average is now obviously below our mid-term moving average, indication of a slowing trend and potentially start reversing downwards. Okay, a lot of people will call this a potential pullback point. All right, now in terms of just the candlesticks itself, do we actually notice anything? Yes, we actually have higher lows. Okay, so basically sellers are not that prominent as of right now. Okay, potentially there's just a lot of buyers actually exiting their trades. That's all we see. I do not believe there's any big fish right now. No big whales or sharks actually dumping a lot of their buy orders as of right now. Okay, so that may be a good sign. Okay, because obviously for the past 2 days we do not see any prominent major long candlestick movement. Okay, so potentially a lot of people do believe it will still be more bullish. Okay, just saying. But usually when divergences do happen, the momentum does respect divergences, because divergences do not happen all the time. And moreover, when divergences do happen, okay, if you're looking at a longer time frame, the chance of its accuracy is actually there. So this is something for you to keep in mind. Now, a lot of people will start complaining, what the heck? So Raymond, you're telling me that it's bull, but then you're telling me it's bear based on the divergence. Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Okay, I'm just analyzing the market based on what I'm seeing. But if we or I were to actually enter into the market, I will want to look at the candlestick by itself. Should I actually enter into a sell as of right now? I wouldn't dare say so. Okay, because obviously on the H4 I do see there is higher lows. Okay, meaning there's not enough movement that is showing me that the sellers are actually jumping on board right now. Okay, so I can't really confirm that. All right, so then let's drop it down to H1 to see if there's any strong selling power. On H1, you see it is actually capped on a ranging section here. Okay, so if I were to actually jump into the market, I personally would just trade within this range and tread carefully, take profit points and stop losses all within my range on the support resistance channel. That's all I will do. Okay, now for people who like trend lines, what we're looking at now is literally a closure of a market. You see there's a triangle. So now all of you traders out there, what you want to wait for is to see which direction this triangle will break out to. Okay, so whichever direction this triangle breaks out to, and this is on H1 only, so do tread carefully. Okay, because based on candlestick patterns right now is not anything strong. Okay, we see a triangle, so tread carefully. All right, last pair to take a look at is the USD JPY. Okay, obviously the interference from the BOJ is not that strong. They're purchasing bonds that they've put out for people to purchase. Okay, so the prices are trying to be controlled, not to go surpassing. Okay, but I do believe right now in the U.S. Open that the prices will keep on pushing. Pushing where? Pushing up north. Pushing up. It'll be more bullish. Okay, although the RSI is indicating an overbought zone. Okay, although it's indicating overbought zone. Okay, but do we see any divergences occur here? We don't. Okay, so a reversal chance is not very high. And let's take a look. Any candlestick patterns? Yes, there's basically a bearish engulfing. Okay, but you see the candlestick did not confirm. The following candlestick did not actually confirm a bear momentum. So there's a high chance that it will be more bull. So anyways, for educational purposes only, we will enter with more conservative moves on a bull market. Okay, cashing in on the fact that the New York session are going to try to push for a stronger US dollar. All right, well, thanks for all of you guys watching today. That is it for today's New York session. Okay, the session is going to start in about half an hour. Good luck trading, and we'll see you tomorrow on our London session.